People will ask me, well, why are you using social media? So I'm like, why do you spend so much time on there? Okay, so pull back to my why. I want to leave a legacy by positively impacting people. So first and foremost, the place that I think about is my first home, right? Like my love of my family. And so I want to make sure that if I'm not here, because I'm not going to assume that I'm going to get every single day going forward. I just assume that I got right now, what right now what's in front of me. And I want to make sure that I'm not around, my children have, and my wife have gobs of ways to consume my thoughts on a whole multitude of topics. And so I'm putting it all out there, whether it's in the written format, whether it's in this podcast, whether it's in this video, they can get me if I'm not here. The other thing that I think about is it's another avenue to be able to reach more people. Right now, belly to belly, face to face, I can only impact so many people, but there's so many people that can connect with individuals online and build a relationship that they can actually establish friendships online, right? And of course, for me, if people that don't know my story, that's really how my wife and I had met and built our relationship. Well, we met face to face, but then we really built our relationship online. So that's a topic for another day. And so with social media, it gives me an opportunity to be able to broadcast out to the masses, right? So if I was a public speaker, I'd be going to all these different, motivational speaker, I'd be going to all these different businesses, talking with them. I go into different organizations and talking there, and different conferences and talking there. But right now, I'm not there. And so I want to make sure that my voice is heard, and you can hear right now, December 2017. So you don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to pay a ticket price. You can just go and you can consume me right now by listening to the podcast or watching the video or reading it in the written format. And so for me, I find social media as a way to be able to leverage my time and my accessibility, right? Because I can blast it out via YouTube, and all of a sudden people can watch it at any time that they want to. At the same time, I can then use that later down the road to be able to say, hey, if you need to hear a little thought, here it is. Here's my thoughts on X, Y, or Z. And so my concept here is to remember that social media, though, is social, right? It's got the word in there. It's a giveaway for you. So the idea is that just like realtors have the phrase location, location, location when buying a house or buying property, the same thing works in social media, but the phrase is engagement, engagement, engagement. It's all about the people that you're talking to. So many people get caught up in, I need millions of followers, I need this many likes, and da-da-da-da. You don't need that. If you have 10 people that follow you, how are you engaging with them? Are those 10 people getting everything that you're wanting to give to them? That's what matters. It's the one. It's the power of that one individual, because that raving one fan can blossom you into a whole multitude of other places. Let's say the 10 people that are following you are all producers and you want to be an actor, and all you're doing is showing how you can act, right? That you got the chops to act. That's exactly what you're showing in your videos. It definitely is with social media. It's a show me world, not a tell me world. Yes, I've got the podcast here, but you want to be able to see the fruits of my results, right? You want to be able to see what I'm talking about, not just be hearsay or not just be this, that, it's coming out of somebody's mouth, because talk is cheap and the results are what matter. And that's exactly what we want to be able to do with social media, is you want to be able to show people exactly how things can get done. And so through engaging with people one-on-one, by being social with individuals, you're going to be able to make sure that you engage properly. So let me think about it from this perspective. Gary Vaynerchuk has a great book out there called Jab, 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 Right Hook. And it's the same idea that if you're going to meet someone face-to-face for the first time, you would say, by the way, the phone isn't heavy, I just had to switch hands, talking to the video for those that are on the podcast. If you met me for the first time, and let's say you wanted a job at my company, you would say, hey, Sherm, this is who I am. You would connect with me, but you wouldn't come out and say, hey, you got a job for me? You just wouldn't say that. That's just not the right etiquette. Just like if you were to meet me via LinkedIn, a digital format of networking, you wouldn't come out and just say, hey, you got a job for me, right? What are you going to pay me? And so, but I find that people have that they have like digital muscles all of a sudden. They have this amazing courageousness online. When they think about it's still a social aspect, because who you're talking to is not someone digital, it's a person. It's a human being that has its own desires and own needs. Remember that the most popular FM radio is FIIFM, WIIFM. What's in it for me? That's the favorite radio station that people like to listen to. We're concerned about our lives. So if you come from the premise, especially on social media, how can I help you? What's your concern? What are your thoughts? How can I build a relationship with you before you get what you want? So get something for someone else first.